Sauron's theme is Halbrand's theme backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Same thing. And I'm so obvious about it. I just state it over and over. With that said, the colors are very different. The context is very different.
Hello, Bear. How are you?
How are you?
I am doing great. I have to say, I have loved much music by you since the Battlestar Galactica days. So it's lovely to speak with you. So this project is so expansive. Like Rings of Power has so much rich source material to draw from, but the story itself is original. So for you, how do you approach scoring a character like Galadriel, who there has already been so much of, versus like Arondir and Bronwyn, who are wholly original to this piece?
I always try to tell the story at hand. I want to let a film or television show or a game tell me who the characters are through the writing, acting, the visual language, the editing. Every aspect of filmmaking will inspire and inform. But with Rings of Power, it was challenging because I really felt like I knew who Galadriel and Elrond in particular are. To a much lesser degree, Sauron, though that was also a thing that is in my brain. These are just lodged in my brain as characters, both from the books and from Peter Jackson's films. And I ultimately found with them, I really needed to take a further step away from my preconceived notions. Elrond in particular. Galadriel was tough, except that ultimately my approach to her was that she's a wounded warrior. She is ultimately noble and powerful, and you threading that needle with the Galadriel from the movies is quite easy.
Right.
You get the feeling in her scenes in the Fellowship of the Ring that she's a wounded warrior, that she's super powerful. There's a trauma there. There's something up with her that, to me, it was almost like a layup, oh, of course that's what the Rings of Power is going to explore. So what is she like in the beginning? And we're going to get there. Elrond was trickier only in that, especially in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, his depiction was very stern and stoic. Not really warm. And my memories of him from the books were warmer. And he was warmer in the Hobbit movies. So it was just a little, but here he's so warm. He's delightful. He's an optimist. He's a diplomat. He's calm. So I actually had to, for Elrond, I had originally written themes that were just too dark. They were too dark. I had to just step back and go, you know what? I think what our story is going to be is how this guy became that other guy.
Right.
And we know he's at the last alliance. Things are going to go down that are going to darken this guy's mood.
Poor Elrond.
Right now in 101, it's when we meet him, it's gotta be different than that. And that was helpful. So I had to, in a way, distance myself from those memories to be able to get inside the character that we are dealing with.
Speaking of, you mentioned Sauron. And so, of course, we meet Halbrand. And we, as in me, are oh, wow, I guess I ship him with Galadriel. But he's obviously Sauron. So how do you handle that? Did you know that from the start? And do you not give that away in the music? What is your...
Yeah, it's interesting because I did give it away if you were paying enough attention. Sauron's theme is Halbrand's theme backwards. Same thing.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Same thing. And I'm so obvious about it. I just state it over and over. With that said, the colors are very different. The context is very different. But the clues are there. Every character has these big leaps, giant phrases that soar. Except Sauron's. His is very circular. It's a ring. Da 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 da. It comes back to the same note it started on over and over and over. Well, Halbrand's does too. And if I think even your subconscious mind might notice, of all our protagonists, his is the only theme that's small. Why? Why is his theme but I'm trying my best to trick you. I'm using harmony and context. Go, no, he's a hero. Don't don't pay attention to the notes, you know? So yeah, no, look, I mean, here's what's funny, right? Is like, from what I've read in interviews, you know, Charlie was cast and they didn't tell him, like he's auditioning and they're, you know, and what's funny is I thought, God, by the time I'm scoring his scenes, like I knew more about the arc of his character than this brilliant actor who I think was able to use what he knew to channel this really nuanced performance. So yeah, look, I feel like if you're paying attention, I'm giving it away. But here's what's great about film scores, right? And TV scores and video game scores. Even if you're a music major, the point is to pull you into the world. You're not paying attention to any of this stuff. If you're writing a music dissertation analyzing my score, then it's like, I'm not doing a good job because I'm not pulling you into the drama, to the world. That's what it's for. So I do like to craft music that works on a visceral, immediate level. And for those who want to go back, if they are inspired by what I did,
you catch all the...
I can show them the tools and techniques that I used to create that music. I didn't just make Halbrand's theme, Sauron's theme backwards to be clever. I did it because it was like helped me understand what those two relationships would be. And I knew there's going to be a point in the last episode where I can pay that off. So in a way, everybody wins. Like on a visceral level, fans just get the story. I have a technique that I can use to make the score a little more structured, and hardcore fans, if they want to, you know, dig in there, there's stuff for them to find.
I love it. Now, is this a continuing project for you? Are you doing the music for season 2?
I am. Yes.
So what is that back and forth like? How much is filmed before you work on the music? Where are you in your musical journey?
For me, working on a project like this, I want to do whatever is needed. I want to be helpful in any way that is needed. In the case of a Tolkien adaptation, song is written into the source material quite literally. So, you know, we used a lot of song and a lot of music in the Rings of Power season 1. I think there's no reason to think that that's not going to continue. And in many ways, I just feel like, you know, with the skill set that I have, the love of the lore that I bring to it, I'm here for whatever they need, whatever the story needs. And that's one of the joys of working on the show, is that I get to do all these different things.
Oh, that's awesome. You've also worked on several projects that had a lot of longevity, like most significantly Walking Dead, but also even Outlander. So as a show goes on, or as a project continues, how does your relationship to the music or to its characters change?
I feel that music needs to shape to drama. So I have been fortunate enough to do some television shows that have run for a long time. Even in other mediums, I have been working on a game franchise called God of War for 8 years.
Oh my God.
8 years to make those 2 games. They each took 4 years. So it is something that I'm keyed into and aware of. Ultimately, I'm not the guy to call if you're going to make a detective show, a cop drama that runs for 10 years, like a CSI type. I mean, nothing against those scores. I mean, they have to do a very specific function, but I'm bad at that. I would want to keep changing stuff. So, you know, you follow the drama. You tell the story that you have at hand. So it is, look, I promise you, when I did Walking Dead season 1, and I'm working with Frank Darabont on that, all we were thinking about is, I got to get to episode 6. I literally had a conversation with him where I said, okay, let's reset. Let's scare people. But like, we need to scare them in 6 episodes. We got to pace ourselves, man. We got 6 hours. We've been doing that for a dozen years. You know, and I think continued to scare people. But it takes collaboration. It takes good scripts. It all comes down to good stories, good acting, good directing. And when those things evolve, you have to evolve. When Claire and Jamie go to France, when they go to the Caribbean, when they go to the New World in Outlander, well, the bagpipes that I used in Scotland, I've got to adjust.
Right.
So I'll take my cues from the drama.
Thank you so much. You are fabulous. You've done excellent work, and I cannot wait to see and hear your work in much more.
Thanks, Tatiana.
Have a great day.